I feel like shit.
Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
It's just one of those
happy days. The weekend comes, a cycle hum.
It's just one of those days where you don't wanna wake up. Everything is everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you wanna justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet is
Knock it off, you scumbucket.
it's just one of those days. It's just one of
Monday,
those.
happy days.
It's just one of those.
Tuesday, happy days.
It's just one of those
Happy days.
days.
The weekend comes, a cycle hums. Ready to extend.
It's just one of those days, feeling like a freight train. First one to complain, leaves with a bloodstain. Damn right, I'm a maniac. You better you cause I'm fucking up your program. And you go stuck up, you just locked up. Next in line to get fucked up. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just,
I'm losing my cool.
it's all
Monday,
about,
happy days.
it's just one of those,
Tuesday, happy days.
it's just one of those
Happy days.
days.
The weekend comes, a cycle hums. Ready to extend. These days,
I feel like shit. My suggestion is keep the distance. Right now I'm dangerous. Right now I'm dangerous.
Something's happening to the bonds.
My day keeps going this way and this way.
I'm gonna pop you one so you'll stop playing games.
Give me something great. Give me something great. I hope you know I pack a chainsaw. A chainsaw. A motherfucking chainsaw.
What?
So come and get it.
What we got here is
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chief Moody, and welcome to episode 39 and the first ever Halloween special of the Mood of the Nation podcast. How is everyone doing this fine Monday evening? I know I never really stream on a Monday, but it's only, as I mentioned yesterday, because it was a post-conference stream with yesterday's episode. Tonight is going to be the Halloween special, and I know it's being the 1st of November, but hey, that's been said and done. Let's get right into it. I see we have a lot of familiar faces in the chat already, so let me have a quick look, including Corona. How you doing, Corona? Hey, Chief Moody, tell us about what you think about the people who tried to get the conference shut down. Well, thank you for the comment, Corona, but to be honest with you, I think I've already said my piece about that last night's episode, which got quite a lot of positive reception from a lot of people from PA, including Laura herself when Mark read out my super chat on the PA update stream last night. So very good to hear and very good to see. It's nice to see that a lot of people really did like my rant, considering that it was a very swearful, very vitriolic, very spergy type of rant. But hey, if everyone else is happy with it, then I'm happy with it. It was something, of course, that needed to be said and done, of course. So anyway, we also have English Rose. How you doing? Thank you very much for watching the stream, as per usual. We also have Rory Herbert. Hail to the Chief. Thank you very much, Rory. Of course, another comment from English again. Lol. Yes, don't beat around the bush. Just come right out with how you feel. As I said, I've already gave my opinion about that last night. So, if everyone wants to see my epic rant from last night's stream, you can definitely do so by going onto my channel and watching it from there. Of course, either during the show or even after the show is done, if you want to. Let me have a look here and see. We also have Durham Fox. How you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. We also have Gamma Sandwich as well. How are you doing? Doskin, how you doing? Happy spooky time. Well, I think we all know it's past that, but again, appreciate you saying that as well. Thank you very much. Exile Viking, how you doing? Let me see, and also puts 14 in the chat as well. Yeah, excellent. Thank you very much for that. We also have Gumball. Thank you very much for watching the stream, and also thank you for the comment for yesterday's stream as well. Really do appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. Jose as well. Thank you very much for watching the stream. We also have Toby Radley. How you doing, Toby? Thank you very much for watching the stream as well. Indigenous Advocate. Good evening, fellow nationalists. Well, good evening to you too, Indigenous. Thank you very much for watching the stream as well. Let me have a look here and see. Chief Moody is a chat. Well, I don't know if I would call myself a Chad, but I'm flattered by that. I really am flattered. So thank you very much. Another comment from Indigenous Advocate. I see the freaks of Hope Not Hate have kindly identified the 15 towns where the quote-unquote far right might do well. Blitz these towns with PA leaflets ASAP. I did see that earlier on. I don't know what Telegram channel it was. If I actually can't remember which news article it was, but I do remember seeing something like that. Of course, I didn't get the chance to read it, but it was kind of like a glimpse at it. But I'll see if I can find it again and have a further read into it as well. Lol, I was only kidding. I know, I know you were, of course. I know you were. Let me see here. We also have Peter Walker. How you doing? Thank you very much for watching the stream. We also have the Woodlander. How you doing? It was epic evening to you too, Woodlander. Thank you very much for the praise for the epic rant last night. English Sailor, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching the stream. Let me see who else. Picking Gaz 1972, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching the stream as well. I think that's me up to date with the chat so far. So 21 people watching currently. Hopefully more people will be watching, but we'll definitely see from there. Although it was quite a surprising turnout last night with the peak number of, must have been in the 80s or the 90s, around about that amount of viewership for last night's stream, which is quite surprising, to be quite honest with you. I never expected to be that many people watching. Then again, I would imagine half of the audience, because of course, as we all know, the peak viewership of Mood of the Nation every stream would be around 50, maybe 60 people if I'm lucky, but it might be up to about a 90s or 100 if it's maybe like a guest on, for example, Laura and Sam, who were on the show at one point. Let me see here. I will just real quick. I love the rants. Well, good. Thank you very much, Picking Gas. Kingdom of Vinland, how you doing? Chief Moody, howdy. When you recommended me the NJP, did you know they were National Socialists? No, to be quite honest, I thought they were more, say, people like PA. They were more like ethno-nationalists, well, nationalists or ethno-nationalists, whatever you specifically want to call it that. People who believe that the country belongs to the indigenous people of these lands, idea, want to preserve the white population, and also want to preserve the idea of we, the people, the white people in this case, have a right to self-determination and a right to exist, that sort of idea. So, but again, Kingdom, hopefully NJP will be the best party moving forward. Or then again, alternatively, there's another party I've seen in America called, well, I don't know if you want to call it a party, but more like a group at the moment. It's called the Patriot Front, I think they're called. Which I don't know if they're affiliated with NJP or their own separate group, but you can definitely check them out as well if you want to. You easily find them on Telegram and then see from there. So anyway, was in tune last night. Loads of people in scary fancy dress. A dozen Asian youths came in one pub, all in Halloween costumes. Isn't that cultural appropriation? Well, you think so, but no, of course not. Although it's quite funny you mentioned that, because last night I was kind of expecting some trick-or-treaters to come to the door, or many doors for that matter, on during the street I'm living in just now. But it was a relatively quiet night, same as last year. I don't know if it's to do with maybe COVID happening regarding to that, or maybe it's something completely different. But anyway, but that's been said and done, of course. We also have Jojo Gizmo. How you doing? 5 p.m. is probably a bit early for anyone getting home from work. I know. See, the reason why is because for tonight's episode being a Halloween special, I primarily want to do like a film review, as I mentioned before, and also because Laura and Sam will be live tonight at 7 p.m., I don't want to be the guy streaming, say like 6 p.m., for example, and then the stream is still going on when their stream is going to go ahead type of thing. So that's why I'm doing it as like 5 p.m. up until hopefully 7 p.m. So by the time the show ends tonight, I'll put the links in the chat as well. So you can all head on over to their stream at 7 p.m. tonight, of course. Let me see here. Sorry, excuse me. Let me see. They're separate, but PF sometimes interacts with NJP. I see. Fair enough. That's fair enough. I think even also Kerr said that as well regarding to that. But anyway, let me see. Julia Skinner. Hello, everyone. Hello to you too, Julia. Thank you very much for watching the stream. Let me see. Hey, Moody, you ever listen to the Paranormies? No, I've not. Let me have a quick look at that. Let me see. Paranormies. Let me have it. Just I'll have a quick look and then I'll get back on track with tonight's episode. Let me see here. I don't know if that's meant to be like a music band or if it's maybe like a production thing or something along those lines. But I'll just have a quick look and then we'll see from there, of course. So, Paranormies. Right, just on YouTube with that. Paranormies, the tragic real life of that. Okay. So it looks like it's a film channel that covers mainly films, also other supernatural stuff like like scary places and all of that. Let me see here. Scary footage of a real spiritual encounter. Jordan's Visitor Part 2, Paranormal Investigation. Okay, fair enough. But thank you very much for that, Dotskind. There are podcasts on the rightstuff.biz, basically based schizo posters. They're not on YouTube. So it's something completely different, right? Okay. If that's the case, right, I see. Yeah, no worries about the Dotskind. I'll definitely have a look at that later on and see from there, of course. But again, thank you very much for that. I do appreciate that. Speaking of Halloween, dinner kept getting interrupted by trick-or-treaters. I would imagine so with that as, when the night goes on. Although I would say maybe I'm probably lucky on that because I was expecting all these like kids and parents who are with them. Of course, trick-or-treating and all of that. But, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Halloween, but it does get a bit annoying when you have tons of people coming to the door asking for sweets or candy or all of that, which, it's like, okay, like it's fun and all, but there comes a limit, to be honest with that. Beer Hall Pooch, hello, sir, or I don't know if you're a sir or ma'am or anything like that, but Beer Hall Pooch, thank you very much for watching. Sorry for not meeting you. I'm assuming, of course, be the conference on Saturday. Honestly, Beer Hall Pooch, no worries about that whatsoever. And as you said in the message here, there's a next time, of course. There always will be a next time, whether it be at the summer camp or another conference event. But we'll definitely meet each other in person. So it's also someone, and also Streaky Bacon, I know we'll definitely meet at some point as well. But we'll definitely see from there. Lastly, hold on one second. I found out last night that my new girlfriend is a ghost. To be honest, I had my suspicions when she first walked through the door. Jojo, that's a good one. Guy Fawkes Night is English, Halloween is not. Fair enough, no worries with that. Chief Moody misgendering is hate. Of course, that whole spiel. Did you just assume my gender? Like, no, let's not get into that, of course. But let me see here. But good one, English Rose. Good one. Right. Also, Steve Cray, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching the show. And also, Celtic Britain, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching the show as well. Right. Excellent. What we'll do is we'll just get right into the show itself. I want to start off, of course, by telling some Halloween jokes, just to kind of get into the spirit, of course, which I know today is the 1st of November, but hey, let's ignore that for now and still pretend it's still the 31st of October. Let me just read out some Halloween jokes for you just now as let me have a quick look and see. Jojo in the chat also pretty much already made the first joke tonight, so let's have a look and see here. So here's some Halloween jokes for you just now. What's a monster's favorite bean? A human being. Get it? All right, okay. What about this one? What is a mummy's favorite type of music? Rap. Great stuff. Let me see here. Why did the ghost go into the bar? For the booze. You get it? Because for the booze, because a ghost goes boo. All right, okay. What about this one? What about this one? What did the skeleton say to the vampire? You suck. Ah, man, great stuff. The jokes are just complete. Okay, I actually cannot keep up with the charade anymore. The jokes are absolutely god awful. Anyway, let me have a look and see. So, right, let's jump right into the main major topic at hand tonight. Of course, yeah, not laughing here, Chief Moody. I would imagine after those jokes, but I do try. I do try. So, let's get right into the movie review itself. Now, I did check out the unsubbed. I don't blame you, English sailor. Um, Now, this movie, I did finally manage to catch it. It's only the first ever viewing I had with the film, and I did say I was going to watch it maybe multiple times. But to be honest with you, the film is complete utter garbage. I decided not to, and even then, all the stuff, say the symbolism, the themes that the film was meant to be about, I could see that like a mile away, even with my first viewing. So let me have a look and see if I could get the poster up for the film itself. Let me see here. Now, tonight's film review, of course, being the Halloween special. Let me see here. Is it showing? It's not showing at the moment, right? That's fine. It would be this film right here. Oh no, sorry. That's not the one. No, it's not. It's not the film Cuties. No, it's definitely not that film. Although to be fair, you could make the argument that Cuties is close to being a complete horror film when it comes to that. You see, so no, it's not Cuties. It's definitely not that film. Although complete utter degenerate garbage that film is, it's definitely not that. Let me have a look and see. Right, is it this one? I got the link for the poster. I think it is. Right, perfect. Now, before I showcase the poster for this film, I don't know if everyone has seen this film or even has heard of it. It's a film that came out in 2017. It was quite a big deal when it came out. In fact, I think even if the film itself won a few awards, being Academy Awards or some Oscars, or if not, I think there were more to do with like they were nominated for these awards. But I'll cut to the chase right now. That film we're going to be discussing tonight will be this film right here, Get Out. Yes, this film, written and directed by Jordan Peele. It's a film. Well, where do I even start? Or actually, let me start from the beginning. Right, where do I even begin with this film? This film, in all honesty, folks, is a complete, utter, pretentious crap. This film is the definition of anti-white garbage. I honestly, like watching through the film, I just could not believe. Well, to be honest with, well, actually, I do know why it won all of these awards and all of that. It's because it's part of the anti-white agenda, and of course, Hollywood being incredibly anti-white. Of course, this type of film is going to garner some awards regarding to that, but no, honestly, I've only watched the film for the first time today in its entirety. And it was also my first ever viewing. But even then, this film is just complete utter tripe. The film itself, right, is supposed to be a horror film, as it was advertised by adverts and trailers and whatnot. But in all honesty, right, this film is anything but scary. There is nothing remotely scary about this film whatsoever. It is probably the least scariest horror film you'll ever see ever. Even when it comes to like certain moments in the film, like being the jump scares that happened, they happened, but I felt nothing. There was absolutely nothing scary about this film whatsoever. It was just absolutely complete garbage of a film, to be honest with you. Right, so where to start with the film itself? I think hold on one second. Just want to read a couple things in the chat. There's Kerr from the PA Young Scots. How you doing, Kerr? Even Chief, was a great time at the conference with you, despite the snoring escapade. Lol. Yeah, I did talk about that yesterday's stream, but I do apologize that you and the other guy, of course, not going to mention his name for privacy's sake, had to leave the room and get yourselves another room due to my snoring. But but it is what it is. And I did warn everyone that I was a really bad snorer. Like I snore like a bear, but. Anyway, but no, in all honesty, it was a great event. Hopefully we'll get to do that again at some point, or even meet up each other again, whether it be leafleting, litter picking, or so on and so forth with PA Scotland. Anyway, let me just get right back onto the film itself. I think what I wanted to firstly cover is the filmmakers themselves before I actually get to the film at the moment here. As I said before, and also check out the film itself. We stomach this as well now. I wish they would get out of our country, English sailor. The only thing saving grace of the movie is that it's how black see white liberals. I'll definitely cover that in a moment because it seems to be in terms of the themes of what the film is trying to explain. It does kind of cover that, despite the fact it is filled to the brim of anti-whiteness. There seems like a way of trying to portray, more specifically, white liberals as having the white savior complex, something that we definitely do see today regarding to our current society at the moment. But even besides that thing or that idea, the film itself is just, I know I keep mentioning it over and over again, but it's just crap. It's utter garbage. And also regarding to the film itself, the subtlety of the film is not even subtle whatsoever. This film is if you're like a film student and you want to learn how to make movies, whether it be writing your narrative with a 3-act structure, especially if it's like in the genre of horror, and if you also want to know how to build like character and all of that, and also want to create like say symbolism and subtlety in the film. This film is not that. This is something that people should study and do the complete opposite effect to that. It's honestly just absolute garbage, this film. So let me start off with the filmmakers themselves. Well, more specifically, Jordan Peele. Now, Jordan Peele, from doing my research after I've watched the film, is a comedian. I think he was also a former comedian, but then turned filmmaker, like writer / director. He also directed, not really directed. Like I know he's directed other films after Get Out. In fact, there was another film he made called Us, which apparently got some reception in terms of that, like more like a positive reception, of course. But as you can see, an American actor, comedian, and filmmaker, he is best known for his film and television work in the comedy and horror genres. So he's helped to build shows like Key and Peele, which is, of course, a sketch comedy series from Comedy Central. He, of course, being like an actor himself, he appeared together as FBI agents in the first season of FX's anthology series Fargo. Let me see here. Of course, he did some voice work as well in the film Storks, Captain Underpants, the first epic movie, Big Mouth. I think the least said about that garbage show, the better, and also Toy Story 4. Garnered a lot of awards, including Best Picture, Best Director. He also produced some other projects, more specifically Spike Lee's Black Klansman, which I've not seen that film, but from what I've heard from people from our circles, especially David Duke himself, he completely detests this film. It is filled with bullshit, points that never really happened, made up stuff that never happened in real life. But anyway, so another thing I also want to mention about Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele is quite a significant guy as well, because he was also quite infamous for speaking out on certain things. In fact, let me see if I can find an article about that here as I was doing a bit more research into him. So that's Jordan Peele. I'll see if I could take off the poster, as we don't really need that. But Regarding to the comments he made in front of the mainstream media, Jordan Peele once said this about casting white people, well, more specifically, white men in his movies. He says, quote, I don't see myself casting a white dude as the lead in my movie. So basically, he has no problem of casting non-whites in his film roles. He has no problem, maybe like a white female in the role, as long as they're a woman. That should be okay. But when it comes to like a white guy, then oh no, that's a definite no. We cannot do that whatsoever. So of course, more of the anti-white bullshit or the anti-white rhetoric that he's spewing as well regarding to that. So I'll just cover this article real quick, and then I'll get to the film itself. With a 17 million opening weekend for us, Jordan Peele is officially 2 for 2 and in more ways than one. Both of Peele's features directorial efforts have been horror films starring black actors in leading roles, and they've broken box office records upon release. One of them, Get Out, even won an Oscar. There you go. And with his Twilight Zone reboot premiering next week on CBS All Access, which was a show that aired in 2019 and then ended after 2 seasons in 2020. I don't know if that's maybe because of COVID or maybe because people did not like his take on the Twilight Zone TV series. Peele is quickly becoming one of the most prolific and acclaimed creatives on the planet, thanks in part to his focus on telling stories with diverse casts, of course. So what will he do next? According to The Hollywood Reporter, Peele says he's going to keep using his position to explore stories that aren't led by white people. There you go. So, while speaking to students at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theatre in Hollywood this week, Peele explained how his success has given him leverage in filmmaking, specifically with regards to casting black actors in leading roles. As Peele has previously stated, unlike Get Out, Us isn't about race. It was also very important for him to have a black family at the center of a horror film. Peele's talk at UCB seemed to extend that particular conversation, with the filmmaker explaining that he has no intention of making movies with white actors in leading roles anytime soon. I don't see myself casting a white dude as the lead in my movie. Not that I don't like white dudes. Me, of course you don't like white people. I mean, the film Get Out is a prime example of this, which I'll definitely cover that in a moment. But I've seen that movie. And it's true. We've all seen that movie thousands of times. That's part of what makes Peele's filmmaking and his perspective so vital and fantastic, especially in Us, where the family's race isn't necessarily important to the story or understanding the film's themes. Right, okay, I call bullshit on that, because where was it in this case here? Yes. So in response to the quote here, we've all seen that movie. That movie, he means like white people being the lead roles in American-made films. Well, G. Jordan, it's kind of funny you mentioned that, considering the fact that currently speaking, and I know it's going to be changed with demographic changes in America in a few years' time, but considering the fact that you're making a film in a country that is the majority white population, you can see why most of the films coming out in Hollywood before this whole anti-white stuff that was coming out were predominantly white actors in the lead roles, because it's a majority white country. And even going back to history, you can make the argument that America was founded as a white nation. It was created and made by white European Christians who wanted to create a country like America, and it was for the white people, especially when it comes to the immigration process pre-1965. It was supposed to be white people of good character who are allowed to come into the country. Hence why America historically is always meant to be a white majority country. But of course, in today's popular climate where everything is very anti-white, everything is very pro-minority this and minority that, pro-BLM and so on and so forth, you can see how that's all coming to a complete manufactured change, especially when the demographic changes in America. So let me have a look here and see, just finishing off the article real quick. Peele went on to acknowledge that he's currently in a position of privilege in Hollywood Of course he would, and one that he's using to his advantage. The way I look at it, I get to cast black people in my movies. I feel fortunate to be in this position where I can say to Universal, I want to make a $20 million horror film with a black family, and they say yes. Well, they're not going to say no to you because, of course, it's all to do with, again, promoting the anti-white agenda and also for the diversity quotas. Because as soon as like you're a black director and you go up to the producers of Universal or Paramount, Warner Brothers, Disney, you name it, any big name Hollywood film company you can think of, you go up to them and say, hey, I want to make a certain film with a black leading cast. Of course, they're going to say yes to it because, again, it's all to do with the diversity check or the diversity quotas, checking that off, and of course, promoting the anti-white agenda. Because as we all know, most of the people behind the film industry, being the bosses, if you were, are basically run by those very people, the small hats, if you were, if you know what I mean. So, anyway, that's that article itself done with that. So, basically, he's a pretentious douchebag. He's someone who is basically the type of guy who is trying to bring awareness to blackness and having major film. Most of his films cast mainly black people in his movies, and so on and so forth. With that, I want to have a quick look and see who's married to. Right, okay, biracial couple there. No comment. Right then, so let's get right into the film itself with Get Out. Let me see if I can get that up here. So Get Out, right. Again, where do I even start with this movie? As I mentioned earlier on, the symbolism in this film is just it's so blatantly obvious that like a child can figure out the symbolism within the film. It's not even subtle in the slightest. It's right in your face about it. Right in your face about it. Just one sec. I'll have a quick sip of my water, and then we'll get back onto the topic itself. Actually, before I continue on with that, let me have just a quick look and see what's being said in the chat, because I hope. Let me see here. Joggers don't surf. The Twilight Zone reboot was shite as well. I've not seen the Twilight Zone reboot, but I would imagine so that it wouldn't be as good as, say, the original 1956 or 57 TV series. But anyway, may as well change its name to Joggywood. Well, I think it's pretty much already like that. But anyway, Chief Moody, do you think we should make our own pro-white Hollywood / Bollywood? That's a pretty good question. If there comes a point where we have to get together as a proper community, I would definitely say that would be like a good idea to do so. Like, if Hollywood wants to continue making, say, films with a non-white cast or something like Bollywood that exists in, say, India, then I would definitely say that I don't think there would be anything wrong with, say, our people with having like a pro-white Hollywood type of system where basically we have a main white majority cast and we make films mainly for our people. I think that would be like a good idea, to be honest with you. Only two kinds of whites mix their blood, the ignorant and the low. TM. I agree. Let me see here. Let's see what's also been said. Kitchen Skillet, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching the show as well. Let me have a look here and see here. Peel wouldn't be famous without the white people. Well, see, that's the big irony of it all, isn't it? He's basically biting the hand that feeds them. Although you can maybe make the argument that it's not necessarily, well, maybe some of them are genuine white people, but you can maybe say that the other half of the people who would give Peel that major support to becoming like a writer and also a film director are probably, as I mentioned before, the small hat types who are trying to promote his anti-white agenda, of course. Daniel Archer, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching the show. As a white dude, I don't see myself watching his movies, so that makes us even. Right, fair enough. Fair enough. Let me see here. And even, of course, even when I was watching Get Out, I never felt any connection to like the main character of Chris, and that's probably because of the race aspect to it. Because of course, being a black character and me a white man, obviously I'm not going to have any connections to him as a character. So there you go. Let me see here. What else? What else? What else? We was in films and shit. I was minus 47, maybe that, fair enough. Let me see here. Everybody's posts keep getting new to what's going on. I'm not entirely too sure. I don't know if it's maybe YouTube being incredibly gay, but I don't know. No idea what's going on with that. Let me see. Grief Moody. Fair enough. Let me see here. Audio cutting out. Maybe it's to do with like the connection. Hopefully it's off working fine again. So hopefully the audio doesn't cut out or anything like that at all. But we'll definitely see from there, of course. We'll see. Let me see here. For a good film on YouTube, Boudica Warrior Queen is totally violently satisfyingly nationalist. Recommended. All right, excellent. What I'll do is let me see if I can write that down in my notes, just so it reminds myself on if I can get that watched. Let me have a see here. Hold on. Right, that's how you spell it. Okay. Warrior Queen. Right. Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much for that, English Sailor. I'll definitely see if I can give that a watch at some point. Excellent. No, what I mean is that many people have here liked his comedy sketches, and if he only appealed to blacks, he'd be the Tariq Nasheed type. Oh, I see. Fair enough. Right. That's definitely a good point with that. Definitely a good point. Let me see. A second here. I used to be a big fan of Alex Kingston, but I think she's woke. I think I recognize that name, Alex Kingsman. Hold on one sec. Was it Kingsman or Kingston? Kingston, sorry, my bad. Kingsman, where did I get that from? Let me have a look here and see who she is again. Is an English actress, active from the early 80s with that. Right, what films does she appear in? Because maybe I might recognize her performance in certain shows or films. Let me see. National Treasure, right. Right. Okay. I don't think I've actually heard of these films or shows before, but if she's became all woke, I mean, to be honest, is anyone really that surprised with regard to that? But she's appeared in Doctor Who, so I mean, that's okay. I guess that's something really. She's appeared in the show Arrow. Okay, fair enough. Gilmore Girls. Right. Okay. Blue Bloods, American Odyssey. Upstairs, downstairs. All right, fair enough. And also Law and Order. Right, okay, fair enough. That's no worries with that whatsoever. Let me see. She played Boudica. Right, okay. I did also catch a glimpse of that as well when I was doing the research about that as well in terms of it. So, anyone watching Squid Games? Is Korean thriller quite good? I do know. I've not seen it myself, but I do know that Laura and Sam talked about them watching the show as well. They thought it was excellent. I was kind of on the fence of Squid Games, although I've not seen the show in its entirety at the moment. It's mainly because that is basically it kind of comes off as a Korean version of a battle royale, but instead of being a cast of Japanese, but it's a cast of like Korean people. But from what I've heard from Sam and Laura, it seems like a genuinely great show. Maybe at some point, if I have enough free time, I'll see if I can give it a watch, and then maybe see from there. Of course, we'll definitely see. So I wouldn't say anytime soon, but we'll definitely see, of course, at some point. Right. Okay. Let me have a look and see with that. Anyone else? Alex Kingston was a smart wench. But as English Rose said, now apparently she's gone completely full woke at this point, which of course seems to be that almost every actor in the mainstream are pretty much going to that side anyway. But it's not really that much of a surprise at this point, to be honest. So, let me have a look here and see. Right, that's all up to date with the chat as well. And also, No Name, thank you very much for watching the stream. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight's show. Let me just get back onto the topic itself, which of course being the film Get Out. Right, so what exactly is the film about? Well, the film itself, basically, it's about a guy named Chris, as I just mentioned briefly earlier on, who's a photographer. He's dating a white woman. Of course, you have the whole mixed race aspect of the film as well. And it's going to be their first time. Well, it's his first time meeting his girlfriend's parents for the weekend. I think it's during the weekend, but basically he's going to be meeting his girlfriend's parents for the first time, and also his brother, which of course we'll get into in just a sec. Now, during their stay at the parents' house, they find out that there was like a group or a gathering of people that was going to be happening at the same time. And of course, you have all these people. It's more like a party sort of thing. But anyway, dozens of wealthy white people arrive for the Armitage's annual get-together. Right. So it's kind of like a party sort of idea. And it's still really bizarre regarding to that, but man, it seems like I was mostly losing focus of the film. I just didn't really give a shit, you know. There was a couple of times where I had to like pause the film because I was just completely bored. I just did not have like any what's the word? Any, not involvement, but any engagement with the film or anything like that at all. It just didn't really appeal to me. There was nothing about. Well, I actually don't. Well, I kind of maybe understand why the film was a major success, but which I can get to that slightly later on. But basically, the whole point of the film is that white people are bad and black people are good, you know, and all of that. So, and of course, black people in this film are victims to the point where this white family kidnaps certain black people and turns them, well, not turns them, but it makes them more like, say, turns them more into suburban white people, like in terms of attitude and all of that, and making them less black, if you will. And it's just, and there's even some of the little things too. Like at the start of the film, when they were driving up to the parents' house, they don't get stopped. Well, they stop by the road because they hit a deer because it was like driving. Well, it was coming right. It was basically passing right in front of them, sort of thing, and they hit the deer and they had to stop the car. So then, slightly later on, the police arrive. The police ask for ID for both the girlfriend and Chris, the black dude, or the main character. And the girlfriend was getting really defensive. She's like, "Well, wait a minute. Why is it that you want to ask for his ID? He's done nothing wrong." It's like, me, the police officer is trying to do their job, and they're trying to get information on who both people are. Obviously, she's the boyfriend is Chris in this case is with her. Obviously, the officer is maybe a bit curious as to who exactly they are, just in case for their safety and all of that. But see, a moment like that, it's something that really speaks major volumes to me, because it kind of comes off as what we're seeing today, where it's the constant like harassment of, it's such harassment that the black people get from the police, all the time. The black people did nothing wrong, and how can the police can just continuously harass the black people all the time? Now, of course, being a nationalist myself, I'm not necessarily like a fan of the police in any form, to be honest with you, because of just how much of a bunch of traitors they could be to our people. But I think for the context of this scene, again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier on, that this film has no subtlety whatsoever. It is right in your face with its propaganda. like it's just so ridiculous. I just kept rolling my eyes when I was watching this film, especially with a moment like that, because of course another reason you could say why the police officer would ask the Chris his ID is probably because of the area he's the officer is from. There probably is like a huge amount of black crime in those areas, but you never know. So again, it's a possibility on that aspect, on that idea, because as we all know, there's a lot more crimes when it comes to black people in certain areas or certain cities. It's a major fact with that, of course, when it comes to studies and whatnot. So, but anyway, moving on. So I'll just cut towards maybe like the third act of the film. So basically, Chris gets. I keep saying basically a lot. My apologies, but Chris gets an idea that something's not right, something's off regarding to this family and this whole party get together. So he decides to leave with his girlfriend. Just want to remember who the girlfriend's name is. Rose. Rose. That's the name of the girlfriend. Rose. So Rose and Chris decide to pack up and decide to leave. The brother and the parents come to see them and ask, like, "What is everything okay? What exactly is going on?" And Chris, of course, tries his best to get out of the house. Rose couldn't find the keys, and of course, it makes Chris a lot more panicky at this point. And then, of course, you find out that Rose, the girlfriend, was basically behind the whole thing as well. Because even before then, in the room where both Chris and Rose were sleeping, Chris finds like an old, like a cupboard or attic. Not attic, sorry. It's like a crawl space within that room that he finds the door open for. So he goes in there, has a quick look, and he sees like a box of old photographs. One of them, I think, was maybe one of the parents or the brother, but the next photo was Rose. And then what he finds out is when he keeps looking through the photographs, he finds out that Rose is in them, but there's other people with her as well as other black men in those photographs. And of course, without or through the language of cinema, is supposed to give you this idea that not only has she been on multiple dates with other black men, of course, but basically she rounds up all these black men and decides to kidnap them and use them as, well, I guess in this context, being like slaves, like for the house and all of that, either a groundskeeper or a cleaner and so on and so forth. So you can see again, there's this sort of like symbolism of like, even though black people are meant to be free and all of that, and they're not going through slavery anymore, despite the fact there's modern day slavery in countries like the Middle East or any third world country. But of course, let's sweep that under the rug because that goes against their agenda, of course. But they're trying to promote this idea that, oh, no, deep down, the black man in these Western countries, especially in America, they're still being treated as slaves and all of that. And it's such pretentious bullshit, like to the point I actually almost stopped watching the film after that because I couldn't take it seriously anymore. It's the whole anti-white narrative. It's so right in your face about it, and the film's unapologetic about it. It knows for a fact that it's anti-white, and it's like it just beats you over the head with it, of this idea that the white people bad, black people good, and they're the victims. You should feel sorry for them regarding to that. There's another point I also want to make about the film. Well, actually, no, but I'll just discuss about the ending. So basically, Chris gets bought off by this blind gentleman, a white dude, of course, who's like a owner of like a certain photography company with regard to that. Because as I said before, this ties into Chris's character, is that Chris is he's not a famous photographer, but he's a very successful photographer when it comes to taking certain photographs. Photographs in terms of the reflect like a melancholy type of tone and feel with his photographs, but I think you can kind of see a glimpse of his work at the beginning of the film during the opening credits, but even then. But of course, that ties into like the last half of the film. So he gets bought off by this blind dude, and I think the reason why the blind dude buys Chris is because they want to have an operation in terms of swapping over brains or swapping eyes or something like that. I don't know. It was something that was completely ridiculous to the which again. It was something that took me completely out of the film entirely. In fact, let me have a quick look and see the synopsis again, just to remind myself. Chris awakens strapped to a chair in the basement. In a video presentation, Rose's grandfather, Roman, explains that the family transplants their brains into others' bodies, granting them preferred physical characteristics and a twisted form of immortality. Hudson tells Chris that host's consciousness remains in a sunken place, conscious but powerless. Although the Armitage target mainly black people, Hudson reveals he wants Chris's body only for sight and his photography skills. Missy performs hypnosis, seemingly knocking Chris out. Well, there you go. So basically, the white dude or the blind gentleman wants to have the operation so that he can get Chris's eyesight or something like that. And it's something as patently absurd and ridiculous as that, to that extent, of course. So the son goes to pick up Chris, who he believes Chris is completely knocked out by the hypnosis. But it turns out Chris, I don't know how this happened, but Chris was not really hypnotized, or he wasn't really like asleep or anything like that at all. But he wakes up and he knocks out the brother, which I'm going to remember myself who the brother's name was again. Jeremy. That's the name of the brother, Jeremy. Yeah. So he knocks out Jeremy and he kills the father of the family. Which I never really find out what exactly happens to the grandfather, Roman, because I guess maybe like the house was burning down, so maybe like it's to do with that. But even still. So he manages to get out. Rose tries to kill him and all of that, but Rose uses another black dude who's working for the family, of course, as I mentioned before, tries to stop Chris, but Chris, using the phone, as he discovers earlier on, if you take a photograph of these black people at this estate or this house area, then they no longer are hypnotized, but they come back to their normal senses type of idea. So Rose still thinks that the black gentleman is still hypnotized, is still working for her, decides to give the black dude the gun, and the idea of possibly shooting Chris in this case. But he turns the gun on Rose and shoots Rose, which then after that he decides to point the gun at himself and kills himself, to Chris' complete utter horror of seeing that. So then Chris tries to kill Rose by strangulation, but then stops himself. I guess maybe with this part is me looking way too deep into this, with this towards the end of the film, but I kind of see that more as like it's a way of saying, oh no, I'm not going to kill this white person because it will make me just as bad as them. Again, this whole idea of, you know, white people bad, black people good, and they're the victims, and so on and so forth. So then he gets picked up by his friend Rod, who we see at the beginning of the film as well. And basically he escapes completely alive, and Rose dies because of the gunshot wound. And that's it. That's basically the film in its entirety, and it was complete, utter garbage. Complete, utter garbage. Although, to be fair, I think it's probably a good idea to maybe pick this film as for the film review. Not because of the fact that it's a quote-unquote horror film, despite the fact it's not even scary in the slightest. You could say it's a film that would be very ideal when it comes to Black History Month, as it was happening in October just now. And I would imagine because of, as I said yesterday, well, today was my first time watching the film. I have heard about the reaction to the film when it first came out. You know, people talked about it's, well, one half of people saying it's a great film, it's an instant classic, it's one of the best horror films ever made. Even going as far to say that it's one of the best horror films since The Exorcist, and The Shining, which is absolutely ridiculous. But then, of course, thankfully, you have the other side of the fence where people were calling it anti-white filth and anything like that at all. But yeah, it's just complete garbage overall. And then another point also, while I was doing research for this film after watching it, it even says with this Wikipedia page here that it came out at the start of 2017. Hold on one second, just want to check. Just having a quick look at the chat as well, real quick. John Davidson, hello, sir. Thank you very much for watching the stream. How are you doing? When is it White History Month? Well, I guess you could say the Indigenous Peoples Day would be White History Month in terms of these like countries like Britain and all of that. But in terms of like its very own White History Month, probably we'll never see that until things do change in regard to that. So. Let me see here. Just want to have a quick check. I think the Welsh manuscripts have dates from very early Prince Modak 6th century. Just have an interest, though I'm no expert. Could be wrong. Fair enough. Fair enough. IRL, the jogger, would have robbed the house, pimped the daughter, and killed the family with a machete. Well, yeah, probably in real life, to be honest with you. The real horror in the story is finding that Rose is a serial call. Oh, Duskin. Oh dear. Oh dear. Main character is rolling his eyes most of the time in that movie. Yeah, I kind of also noticed that as well. Like that's basically what his character does throughout the film itself, of course. Robin Hood was born in a corner shop treehouse. There we go. Interesting stuff with that. Let me see here. From English Rose again. This film seems like absolute drivel. The plot is ridiculous. It's just a vehicle to once again push the anti-white narrative. Exactly that, English Rose. It's definitely that, of course. I wouldn't recommend this film. I mean, the only way I could recommend this film to anybody would be if people are wanting to watch a film with a group of mates with a drink and all of that. Then on you go. But honestly, actually, don't even watch it through, like, say, well, you can't find it on other streaming platforms. You can't find it on Netflix or Sky Movies or anything like that at all. I would say try and find like a good website that would host the film completely free regarding to that. So anyway, I definitely do not support the film in any way, shape, or form because I know YouTube has a thing. Where you can either buy or rent films on the website. I don't know if that's because if you have YouTube Premium or anything like that at all, but don't rent the film, don't buy the film, because again, if you do so, you're basically overall giving the film money and all of that. So definitely don't support the film in any way, shape, or form. The only way to watch it would probably be if you watch it free on any streaming platform on the internet. Of course, I know it may be quite risque regarding to that, but if you can, definitely do so with that, of course. So anyway, another point I was also going to make about the film itself was that the film itself came out in early 2017. In fact, even it says with the Wikipedia page, it was first released in January of 23rd of January 2017 at the Sundance Film Festival. Of course, we showed there. And then it's a proper release date, especially in the United States, was the 24th of February 2017. Now, we all know exactly what happened towards the end of 2016 in November in America. Of course, that being the presidential election, and we all know that Donald Trump won that election. Now, I understand that many people here will have very different opinions on Donald Trump. For example, I'm not a fan of Donald Trump myself. I mean, especially the fact that at first he seemed really promising, but the more you see of him as a president throughout the 4 years in his first term, you could see that he was basically all bark and no bite. He did absolutely nothing to support the American people whatsoever. Now, that being said and done, you can make an argument that the film Get Out is basically maybe it's like an allegory for like of what we're seeing. Well, at least what we're seeing at that point on regard to the politics at the time. You can even say that it's a film. Oh, what was I going to say? You can even say that the film Get Out was a film that came out at the height of the Trump presidency at that point. Because I know I even at that point back in 2017, I remember just everyone, especially the lefty types, were just going just complete bonkers when it comes to the Trump presidency and all of that. So anyway, so that's basically the film in a nutshell. I know it may seem quite short, especially when it comes to like being an hour into the show itself. And I know we still got like an hour to go regarding to the show at the moment, but I think what I'll do for the remainder of the show at the moment would be, again, just talking to you guys throughout the chat as well. And then by the time it gets to maybe 10 to 7, round about that time, I'll post a link for Sam and Laura's stream in the chat earlier on, or not earlier on, but when that time comes, of course, I'll post them in the chat as well for you guys. Noel, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching the show. The Georgityville horror. Oh dear. Celtic Britain writes, lol, sorry, I love this stuff. If I'm doing your head in, tell me to F off. No, don't worry about that. Not to worry about that whatsoever. Let me see. Great Tribe. That's all up to date with that in the chat just now. Okay. Felix Boru, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching the stream. Even all 14, always 14. Definitely, Felix. John Cleese is with us. Yeah, I could see that. Like, especially his comments that London is no really longer Britain anymore. London is not really London anymore. It's been taken over by these non-whites, and of course the amount of controversy quote unquote that came out of that. Yeah, you can pretty much see how well that turned out regarding to what happened to John Cleese. But yes, that's pretty much it regarding to Get Out. Complete utter garbage. I wouldn't recommend it. If you really want to watch the film itself, I would say watch it with a group of mates with some alcohol and just basically just make fun of the film regarding to it. That's the only way how you can pretty much watch the film in its entirety, of course. So let me see. I just see some people in a Telegram chat talking about my rant from last night, which of course, again, fair enough with that. So God damn it. CCTV at the KFC Wolski. Oh God, fair enough. Yes, Jojo Gizmo says in the chat, PA Talk are on at 9 p.m. with the Ayatollah tonight. That's very true. So, hold on one second. But no, that's very true. So after tonight's stream, Sam and Laura will have their stream from 7 p.m. till 8:30. And then tonight, PA Talk will go live at 9 p.m. with Cyborg and Charlie Big Potatoes. And of course, their guest tonight will be the Ayatollah. So I can't wait for that. That's at 9 p.m. So definitely check that out and see from there, of course. Right then, let me have a look here and see anyone else has said anything in the chat. Actually, before I read Dogskin's message, Rory Herbert, my wife voted for Trump in 2016. That's fair enough. I can understand why, especially at that point. Hey, Moody, I know you guys mostly focus on UK, but did you see what happened in Virginia with the election? Some Dems pretended to be Charlottesville protesters at a right rally and got caught. I have seen that, yeah. I know some people have talked about it already. I think I've watched... of course, I'm no longer a fan of her to begin with, but I watched Lauren Southern's take on the whole thing about that. But yeah, see, something like that, it just goes to show that of the sheer desperation from the Democrat Party of trying to portray the Republicans and trying to portray them as white supremacists, despite the fact that the Republican Party is basically a complete treacherous party in America. So honestly, if you're an American and if you're a proper conservative living in America, don't support the Republican Party at this point, because it's similar to what's going on over here in the UK, where we have the Tory party or the Conservative Party over here in Great Britain, where in this case, they're not really conservative. They're basically conservative in name only. And let me ask you people in the chat, what exactly have they ever conserved? Nothing exactly. Absolutely nothing whatsoever. And also regarding to that, oh, another familiar face. Hold on one second. Bill Athelin. How you doing, Bill? Thank you very much for watching the show. Appreciate you being here. Real quick from Rory. Chief Moody, Sam and Laura's stream is only for an hour tonight as it's their wedding anniversary. That's right. I actually forgot. I can't believe I forgot to message them on a Telegram message or anything like that at all. But I'll probably write a message in their chat when their stream goes live. But Sam and Laura, if you both are watching the stream just now, I don't know if you are or anything like that at all, but if you are, congratulations on your wedding anniversary. Absolutely. It's brilliant to see that it's your first year anniversary, I believe it is. But another congratulations to you both with that. So really good stuff. Let me see. Going back to what I was saying before, they're all globalists. Exactly that. Picking gas, yeah. Whether it be the Tory party or the Republican Party in America, they're basically globalists in disguise. Especially the Republican Party in America. They're doing exactly what the left are doing, which is having pro-LGBT, black and all of that. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, exactly that. Exile Viking, the conservatives. That's basically what they are at this point. All the major parties are just different shades of globalism. Exactly. You can't really trust any party for that matter going on at the moment. They're all basically globalists at this point. I think we before Christianity were Hyperborean warriors, farmers, and poets of old. Yeah, I can see that, Felix, with regard to that. From Kerr again, Lawrence Southern, the image of a siren. I could see that. I definitely don't trust Lawrence Southern to begin with, because I do remember Mark made a video response at that time when the whole Lawrence Southern was speaking to members of Hope Not Hate, I believe, that the case with that. But anyway, so I hate to say it, but I've lost all hope in America. I want to agree, but I can see where they're coming from with that. I mean, especially with the current climate just now. I mean, just look at it with the current Biden administration. I mean, the majority of people in that administration are basically Jewish, and they all support Israel. So, of course, no surprise there with that. So, anyway, so let me have a look here and see. No vote could be the winner. Exactly that. Nobody represents me. I voted for Brexit, but in future I won't bother. Yeah, it's a joke regarding to current state of politics at the moment. It's a complete utter joke at this point. Let me see here. Every election will be rigged there from now on. Yeah, I think in America, especially with the current climate, I think it's possible that Trump will be the last Republican president America will ever see. I don't want to say that, but, because of the way things have been going at this current time, I wouldn't be surprised if Trump would be the last ever Republican president. I think at that point, it's going to be completely rigged. I would imagine that the American establishment over there would never want to see anything like that ever happening ever again, or even something to extend something like Brexit happening here in the UK. Brexit happened, and of course, the Tory parties keep getting in. I don't want to come off as like blackpilling or anything like that at all, or conspiracy theory or anything like that at all. But I wouldn't be surprised if at some point a major election happens and then something changes that. And I would imagine some form of rigging would be part of that. But again, the establishment really wants to create this idea of, we're in charge, we decide how you should run your lives, and we're going to make sure that happens whether you like it or not. Like, they're not hiding it anymore at this point. They're not hiding it anymore after that. So I know that may come off as very blackpilling. I don't want to say that, but in terms of the current state of affairs, it seems to be that's the road we're heading to, especially when it comes to America, especially in America. So, do you reckon do you reckon 2019 UK election was rigged slightly in favour of the Conservatives, or was Corbyn just really that bad? See, with that one, I don't think the British election in 2019, I don't think it was completely rigged at all. I think it was a genuine case of Jeremy Corbyn seemed like a very bad idea to be a prime minister, and also having the Labour government, having a Labour Party in Westminster as, of course, the Labour government. Nobody liked Jeremy Corbyn. Nobody liked Jeremy Corbyn for that matter. He was just a complete full-on communist. And that 2019 election pretty much said that, yeah, even though I don't support the Tory party, I'm just going to vote for the Tories and also vote for Boris Johnson because I don't want Jeremy Corbyn in. It got so bad, in fact, that even now, I don't know if this is maybe completely right of me saying this, but for people who live in Northern England, could definitely correct me on this, but throughout history, when it comes to British politics, most people from the northern side of England, like Northern England, mostly vote for Labour because they believe that Labour is all for the working class and helping out people within the working class. But as we see today, the Labour Party has went full complete has been completely hijacked by the complete woke agenda that's going on, to the point where they've completely abandoned the working class people, and then and of course people within the working class before the 2019 election just got sick and tired of it, and then they decided to vote Conservative as like a big fuck you to Jeremy Corbyn and also the Labour Party. Now, that's completely bad when a working class person from Northern England who's always been a Labour supporter decides to vote Conservative because Jeremy Corbyn would be a really bad leader. That speaks major volumes on that. So in short, I don't think the 2019 election in Britain was rigged at all. I think it was a genuine case that Jeremy Corbyn will come off like a bad idea to have as a Prime Minister of Great Britain. So have a quick sip of my water again. There we go. From Doskin again. I'm really blackpilled myself and I'm starting to lose hope. But I do see these streams and people like Mark and Laura where you could be arrested for saying what you say, and it gives me some hope. Well, yeah, I mean, in America, I know you guys have like freedom of speech and all of that, especially with the First Amendment within the Constitution. But over here in Britain, it's a complete Orwell state. If you see anything at all that goes against the established order, then your life could be completely ruined after that. So it is good to see that people like Mark and Laura, anyone else from our side, are speaking out against this. Because I think it should be spoken out because at the moment it's completely just terrible stuff that's going on at the moment. People with all these hate speech bills being passed, trying to protect these non-white groups, the LGBT stuff and all of that. It needs to be called out for what it is, completely called out. Spoil the ballot paper if there is nobody you want to vote for. At least they have to count the spoiled ballot papers. It's better than not voting at all. Sorry, I wrote scum on the ballot paper. Fair enough, Jojo. That's fair enough. Yeah, at this point in time, if there was another election to come up, whether it be a Scottish election or a general election for like a UK-wide election, then I definitely would not be voting for any party or anything like that at all. I would just basically do it like spoil the ballot paper and just write, say, patriotic alternative or something to that effect. Again, just showcasing that I would rather support this group than any other mainstream political party at this point. Let me see here. Chief Moody, what do we in the US do if there is no political solution due to rigging of elections? Good question, Vinland. To be honest, I think just do what we of PA in the UK are doing at the moment. Just get together as a community, build that community, and honestly just talk about the stuff that's going on at the moment over in America. Do some banner drops, hiking, get-togethers when it comes to like summer camps and all of that, leafleting, litter picking, basically the same exact stuff what PA is doing over here in the UK. It's all to do with that community building. Now, if things in America are really going that bad, the best thing to do is get your community of white people together as a group and look out for each other and be there for each other. That's what we of PA are doing over here in the UK. Because as we mentioned, Vinland, if things are really going as bad over there in America, it's probably a best idea to get together as a community at this point. It's probably the best idea regarding to that. For even Felix in the chat even says, Kingdom of Vinland, grind the axes, kiss the wives, and march on Lodenium. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, like we used to do. Democracy is too foreign. Basil Faulty, yeah, Chief, you have a point. Boris mainly got in thanks to the Northerners voting for him, but then they were completely let down by him as everyone else was. Of course, I was one of the people that was led to believe that, oh, Boris Johnson is so based, he's going to be the best prime minister. He's basically no any different than Jeremy Corbyn, except he calls himself a conservative. And there's nothing really conservative about him. It's just basically him just having the term conservative in name only, and that's it. We've got another familiar face in the chat. Hello, Jay. How you doing, sir? Thank you very much for watching the stream. Always remain optimistic. Final victory will come. Exactly, Jay. Exactly that. And also, Jay, it's a shame that you couldn't come to the conference this past weekend, but hopefully we'll see each other again at some point with the guys at PA Scotland. Will there be another conference or maybe like a summer camp? Who knows? Or maybe just like little things like leafleting or litter picking or anything like that at all. Again, just that whole get together as a community. Hopefully, we'll get to do that at some point in the near future. Of course. Let's see here. Yes, English Rose. Community is key. Definitely that. The community is the best key moving forward at this point. Let me have a look here and see just now. Hold on a sec. Right, Jojo, once again, I'm in Newcastle and the dickheads up here have always voted Labour. It boils my piss. Yeah, it just really depends on the people with that. So let me see. 100% Chief Bree, thank you very much, Felix. Let me see here. Karen and Jay just noticing each other in the chat, like, hey, look who is. Well. Both members of PA Young Scots are in the chat just now, which is excellent stuff, of course. Excellent stuff. Definitely check out their PA Young. In fact, I think they just. I might as well just promote your stuff just now, guys. Hold on 1 second. Let's see. I know there's going to be some people in the chat who are not Scottish are probably thinking, oh, Jesus, here we go with the jocks again. Just bear with me just now here at the moment. So, and also just real quick, regarding to my own personal Odyssey channel, I have at the moment, I'll just share the screen just real quick. I've already posted this on my Telegram page as well, but as you can clearly see with my Odyssey channel, I have 108 followers on Odyssey, which is excellent stuff. But enough about me. I'll get into PA Scotland real quick and see if I can promote PA Young Scots once again. Hold on 1 sec. Right, PA Scotland. Let me see if I can find that channel because usually that's where it's at with PA Young Scots. Hold on a sec. Okay, here. Here we go. Right. View list, and it definitely should be there from what I remember. Hold on. Yep, PA Pact or PA Young Scots, right. So what I'll put in the chat for you guys is, hopefully the connection is doing okay. 1 sec. Let's see. Okay, I'll just post that link here. That's a link for PA Scotland, but more specifically the view list of the types of shows that are on PA Scotland's Odyssey channel. So if you want to find PA Young Scots, definitely you can find it there. So definitely check out their content. I think their latest video they've done at the moment, if I can find it, not that one, that's the first episode. Hold on, the view list. Close that. There are, hold on a sec. I thought there'd be like more episodes with that. Hold on a sec. Because I know, Current J, if you're watching, I know there's like, here we go, right. So PA Young Scots, number 6 with Joe Decay. So there we go. Hopefully you guys check that out at some point. And there we go. Perfect. Thanks, bro. Cheers for that, Moody. Newest episode is with Joe Decay, as I mentioned. Excellent. No worries for you whatsoever. So hopefully you get more exposure with that as well. So only 3 are on the playlist at the moment. That explains it, right. That explains it. Although, to be fair, I can't be the one to judge because I need to upload my Mood of the Nation episodes on my Odyssey channel as well. So I'll definitely see if I can get that sorted out at some point throughout this week. Right then. Let me have a quick look and see what else is being said in the chat. Of course, even said, Chief Moody will do, mate. We'll see each other soon, bro. See you then, Jay. See you then. Let's see. Exile Viking. I'm sure Boris won only on the promise of getting Brexit done. He had a Brexit majority after all. Yeah, I think that was a major reason why people voted for him in the first place. It's just the idea of just getting Brexit done and nothing else with that. So anyway, just real quick, I just seen a comment from Horace. Hold on one second. And that was from last night's episode with the post-conference. Excellent. He writes, a great report, very heartening. Woe to the enemies of PA. Well, excellent. Thank you very much, Horace. Let me see. Nice of him to leave a comment like that on the show. Perfect. Let me have a look here and see what's also said. And of course, Bojo is an eco-terrorist wannabe Sultan. I'm sure Boris won. Oh, of course, we mentioned already read that, but let everyone down. He let everyone down, definitely. I'll have it done by Friday. It's the Roman accounts I'm stuck on at the moment. Fair enough. No, Chief Moody, not to be a pest. Did you watch the video from Hyperborean Reflections? I'm pretty sure I have, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not entirely too sure on that. I'll check back on my history page on my YouTube channel and see from there. So, but I'll definitely see if I can have a look at that, and then of course see from there. Vinland. It's just because I've been really busy as of late when it comes to work and also regarding to like stuff with PA and all of that, especially this past weekend as I was away with PA members, of course, seeing the conference on Saturday regarding to that. So, but I'll definitely see if I can have another check on that, Vinland. But thank you very much for the comment. That goes with that there as well. Perfect. Right. Okay. Also, just want to have a quick look and see. I just want to make sure if Sam and Laura's stream will definitely be at 7 p.m. Just want to make sure of that. Where is it? It should be there. Yep, Jonas at 7 p.m. Right, that's fine. Excellent. That's no worries about that whatsoever. Perfect. Let me see here. What else do you expect from an old Etonian? Well, I don't know. I don't know, to be honest, Rory. I have no idea whatsoever about that. So, anyway, let me see here. I guess what we can do, regarding to kind of going back to the film itself with Get Out, if you guys want, I'll see if I can have a look into some video about the film's like symbolism and all of that, how people are praising it, kind of a thing. Because there have been videos where people are just completely praising it just for the hell of it. Let me see here. I'm gonna have a look here and see. Most of them are French, right? That's bizarre. Okay. Let me see here. Actually, no, I'm not bothered because I've said enough about the film Get Out. I mean, I've seen the film. hopefully I will never see it again in the near future. So I won't bother. I will just move on from that, to be quite honest with you in this case. Right then. Okay. Boss, we've got like half an hour to go. Let me see here. So I guess maybe like we're just almost like an hour half an hour left to go. I just want to ask, because I really don't know what else to talk about, to be quite honest. I would say maybe what we can do for the Killing Angels. How you doing, Evening Chief and all? How you doing, Killing Angels? Thank you very much for watching the show. I guess what we can do for the last half an hour is, if you guys want, you could maybe ask me like a question regarding to that. Even though I've been asking or answering some questions earlier on, but if you want to have a question you'd like to ask, just feel free to ask in the chat, and I'll see if I can answer that, of course. Well, that was quick. From Noel, how is the new job going, Chief? Yeah, fine. No worries about that whatsoever. It's been okay so far. It's just basically the standard stuff over and over again. Although, actually, I might want to talk about something, maybe share something with you guys in a moment here. It's something that I've been thinking about doing for a long time now on the channel. So as we all know that, or some of you might not know, I've been doing a lot of content creating as Chief Moody for the past 3 years, since 2018, of course. And throughout that time, I've always been anonymous, of course. And although some people know exactly who I look like, of course, because of meetings with PA Scotland, and of course recently with the recent conference, but it's something that I've been thinking about doing for a long time. And what I want to do at some point, not now necessarily, but at some point in the near future, I definitely want to face dox myself, or in this case, reveal what I look like to you guys in the chat, or my subscribers in this case. It's something that I've been thinking about doing for a long, long time, and something that I've become, of course, at the beginning of my YouTube career, if you want to call it that, I've been very hidden, and I try my best to not have any information or anything like my face or that to be out in public. But because I've become a full-blown nationalist, and because of the fact that I'm now a member of Patriotic Alternative, more specifically PA Scotland, I've seen, it seems to me that I'm becoming a lot more and more comfortable with the idea of actually revealing myself to you guys. Again, despite the fact there's maybe like a small handful of people know what I look like and all of that, but I don't want to keep using the avatar all the time. I want to at some point maybe reveal myself in this case. But the problem with that, though, is mainly to do with stuff outside of YouTube. I'm more concerned about if I were to reveal myself. Again, only just like reveal my face and what I look like, not like my actual name or anything like that at all. But hold on a second. A question from Kingdom of Vinland. Chief Moody, given the infiltration of the military brass by anti-whites, should we still join the military? I would say yes, you definitely should. Although, despite the fact it's becoming apparent that the current military-industrial complex is completely filled to the brim of anti-white agenda, I think it still would be a good idea to still join the army and do some. Either you're doing it for, let's say, like because you want to like make money or anything like that, or because you have a genuine sense of wanting to protect your people and protect your country. So, despite all of the, of course, anti-white agenda going on in the military, I think it's a good idea to actually still do that. Of course, gammon sandwich, face reveal at some point. So. For English Rose, Chief, really, I respect your decision, but of course, but please be careful. Yeah, see, that's the part I'm going to get into just now with that, of course, English Rose. But thank you for that comment, of course. The one thing that I'm a little bit worried about, if I were to reveal myself, again, only just face reveal and all of that, it's mainly the aftermath of that. if that were to happen, because I know, and I've seen this myself, like firsthand, with people who do face doxing, who are either activists or content creators regarding to that at all, and they do actually reveal themselves. Not, of course, not everybody. It does affect differently regarding to each different person, but there have been some horror stories where it has affected their livelihoods, it's affected their jobs, it's affected their family life and all of that. Especially if you're in these circles when it comes to ethno nationalism, because again, it's a cliche to say at this point. I know I've said this many, many, many times before, but it definitely needs repeating here because of the context of what I'm saying here. If you're somebody who holds pro-white views, and again, it doesn't have to be specifically something very bold or extreme or anything like that at all. It could be just like very basic, very straightforward, very minimal case of pro-whiteness. Even if you have that, your life will be completely ruined. You'll be ostracized out of society. Your friends and family will probably reject you because of the fact that you hold these opinions and whatnot. So that's the one thing I'm a little bit worried about. Especially, there's some people in my life who I know personally who do have like jobs and all of that, and mainly more specifically their own they're like self-employed. Now, even though they have nothing to do with my YouTube or my politics or anything like that at all, but again, we do live in a time where the idea of guilty by association is a key factor in this, where they can try and intimidate you and try and stop you from doing what you're doing, but if you keep on moving forward, then that's no problem. But then, of course, the next step of that is that they'll target the people that are closest to you, the people that you care about. They'll try and target your friends, they'll try and target your family and all of this, and trying to make you look bad in front of them and whatnot. And that's the major thing that I'm really worried about. You see, at this point in time, if I'm still anonymous, or if I did reveal myself, I don't give a damn what people say to me or anything like that at all with that. But what does worry me is, of course, the people in my life, like people around me, of course. That's my biggest concern with that. So, but again, I don't want to say that, hold on one sec, Chief, wait until you pass your probation, then face reveal. Fair enough. Maybe start with sunglasses and bandana. Just take it slowly. After all, you're not exactly promoting hate speech. Yeah, fair enough. Don't do it. Stay anonymous if you can. It might stop you from getting jobs, etc. Well, I can understand that point, Jojo. But regarding to this stuff I'm doing just now, say like content creating and also activism, I love every minute of it. It's actually the type of stuff that I can actually be myself. And if there's a way I can actually say do this, maybe for the rest of my life, make like a profit out of it, I would definitely do it in a heartbeat. No worries there. It's just I when it comes to, like, say, your normal average Joe working type of job, say, and all of that, it's just I don't know if Laura has spoken about this before, but like a similar experience of what I'm feeling at the moment. But she talked about her time working in a job. I'm not entirely too sure what type of job that is, but she talks about how she's got a good paying job, like I think it was like a 9 to 5 type of work, but she's not entirely, well, she wasn't really satisfied with it. She wasn't happy with it. So that's why she decided to do both activism and content creating full time. So that's something that it's not exactly the same as Laura, but I'm on a similar boat as she was in at some point, where I do have a job and I'm enjoying it and all of that, and I do make good money off of it, but it's not really me. It's not where I can actually truly be myself and whatnot. Whereas if I'm out with PA Scotland, or even, for example, I was at the conference and just meeting all these people, I don't need to hide my opinions or anything like that at all. I could just be myself and all of that. I can actually be my true self and actually speak my true opinions and, of course, actually be myself in this case. So put on a polished English accent and knock everyone off the scent. Hello, old chap. My name is Moody. Hello, old chap. My name is Moody. How you doing? And also, Gamma Sandwich, Burka time. Well, I don't know if I want to go that far, but still. Let me see here. Did mention that. Yeah, that's fine in this case. Yep. Power to the ginger, including Woodlander's big ginger dog. Fair enough. Kingdom of Vinland writes again, Chief Moody Heckoff Comey says he wouldn't join the military due to the anti-white control of the brass. I think you two should have a debate on the subject. Fair enough. I think that would be very interesting regarding to that. Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be interesting, actually. I'll see if I can maybe find that video and I'll give it a watch and then see from there if that'd be something we can have a debate on. Because I do believe that, despite all of the anti-white agenda that's been infiltrated in the military just now, I think it's still a good idea for people to join the army. I know there's some guys within PA who are ex-military or are joining the military and all of that. So, again, I think it would be a good idea for people to join the army, either for money or more specifically, they have a genuine case of supporting their people and supporting their nation or their homelands, of course. Let me see here. Burkas with avatars. Or, sorry, aviators. Sorry, Rory. With that. Exile Viking again. I've met some of the PA guys in the past. Won't drop names, but I would never dog anyone, even though I'm not a PA member. Fair enough. That's fair enough. Big aviator hugs. Thanks for that, English sailor. Right. Excellent. So, in short, when it comes to the whole face reveal, I can understand some people's concerns, like, oh, it's going to potentially ruin your life when it comes to that, which, guys, I can completely understand the concerns about that. So, just real quick, Mr. X. How you doing, Mr. X? Thank you for watching the show. And of course, it's something I don't want to do just now. I think I'll wait just a little bit longer. I think what I'll also do is I'll see if I can speak to some of the guys who I know in PA and all of that. So just to get some advice from them as well, because I think if I were to reveal myself in terms of like face docs and all of that, I think that's going to be a major change when it comes to that. Like a big major change, of course, for my life in regard to that. But no, we'll definitely. I'll say for the moment, it's an idea I have in my head, not something I want to go through just yet. But I'll definitely see if something like that may happen in the near future. But we'll see. We'll definitely see with that. So. Anyway, let's move on from there. So it's now 22:07. I'll do this for maybe like another 10 minutes, and then, of course, we'll have the stream come to an end. I'll post the links in the chat as well. Jojo Gizmo, the army are mainly trying to recruit Muslims now. Check out the adverts. Yeah, I think we talked about that ages ago. I don't know if I talked about that on Mood of the Nation on one of the earlier episodes, but no, it's definitely a case of they're trying to recruit non-British whites, specifically, they're trying to recruit people like ethnic minorities, LGBT people. They're trying to recruit, these trannies and whatnot. It's all part of this anti-white agenda when it comes to that. So nothing it's all to do with the anti-white agenda they're promoting. Toby, again, there's nothing wrong with our opinions, Chief Marie. No, exactly that, Toby. Absolutely nothing wrong with our opinions. Our opinions are there's absolutely nothing wrong with it whatsoever. I think that the major concern, and like I said, I've got no concern about face revealing myself in terms of like the aftermath if it were to happen, because at the end of the day, these people, of course, that's a running meme going on. These people, of course, the mainstream media, these type, the lefties and all of that, it's all to do with like intimidation tactics and trying to stop you from doing what you're doing by trying to ruin your life by quote unquote exposing you for being a member of the far right or anything like that at all. I think it's all to do with like the person who wants to reveal themselves if they want to do it. So again, uh, absolutely right in saying, Toby, there's nothing wrong with our opinions. Even if I were to reveal myself, my opinions will still be the same. And I have no worries about, say, what would happen to myself in this case after during the fallout of that in this case. So let me see here. Chief Mooney, the Heckloff Call Me video is called "Should You Still Join the Military?" Right, 1 second, Vinland. Thank you very much for pointing that out to me. I'll see if I can find that just now. And I'll save that in my watch later section. But thank you very much, Vinland. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. Still join the military. Let's see if I can find that as well. Ah, right, from John Doyle is that other name. Right, that's fine. Cool. Let me see. Right, so save that into watch later. Done. Yep, cool. So that's that done. Thank you again, Vinland. I do appreciate that shout out when it comes to the video. Thank you very much for that. Exile Viking, how about this idea? Private group on Telegram for any future face reveal. That's I don't know. Maybe. Maybe something like that. I'm not entirely too sure, but again, I think it's all up to the people regarding to that. But we'll see from there. We'll definitely see. Rory Herbert again. Turn off your radio, soldier. Someone needs to pray to Allah. Yeah, I would imagine that's what the current military would be like when it comes to some Muslim soldiers. But anyway. From Noel again, I want to see a Moody debate with Dank or another Scott, maybe in the near future. Although that being said, I'm sure everyone remembers Quick Sticks Productions, who have had a debate earlier this year on Tail Feature stream, which is funny because I tried to see if I could watch that stream again, as it would be on Tail Features channel, but for some reason when I tried to look for it, I couldn't find it anywhere. I don't know whether or not if Tail Feature has deleted the video or he set to private because of the subject matter of the debate. Of course, the overall question of the debate was, is ethno-nationalism a good idea? That was the whole point of that debate. And of course, it's no longer on his channel. Again, I don't know if he's fully deleted the stream or if it's completely privated. But it's a shame that it is no longer viewable with that debate, because again, that could be something that could be seen like by other people in the future. But anyway, going back to Quick Sticks, he's been somewhat constantly messaging me on. Well, okay, not constantly messaging me, but from time to time he would send me a message on Twitter, wanting me to go on a stream with him. Not even saying what the stream is about, not even asking me if I want to come on the stream. He just sends me the StreamYard link and expects me to go on the stream with him. And it's like, me, and this would also be like very late at night. It's like, me, I'm not going to go on a stream with you when it's very late at night, around about say 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. And 2, I have no idea what the stream is going to be about. So how do you expect me to go on the stream without knowing exactly what it's supposed to be about? But anyway, so yeah, in the future debate, I would definitely want to debate Dankula if he's up for it, or if anyone else like Quick Sticks or any other Scott for that matter, who's maybe the opposite side of the political spectrum, if they're up for a debate, I'd be happy with that as well. It would be about ethno-nationalism or about the Scottish independence referendum or anything like that at all. I would definitely be up for that. Of course. So, let me see. Especially when it comes to Count Dankula, if you guys would like to see me debate Count Dankula, again, that's only if Dankula would be up for it. I think possibly the best thing to do is maybe just ask Dankula if he would be up to debate myself, in this case through Twitter or any other platform he's on, because I think he's still there on Twitter at the moment. So if you want to send him a message or a tweet about that, then again, you're welcome to do that. But again, that's only going to happen if he's up for it, of course. So in terms of that, but we'll see. We'll definitely see regarding to that future debate, of course, if it were to go ahead, of course. Right then. So, any other questions everyone in the chat would like to ask me? It could be anything at all, by the way, anything at all. So, and then I'll be happy to answer that, of course. Just want to have a quick second and see this real quick. That's fine. No worries. Cool. Yep, no worries. Right, hold on a sec. Right. Sorry, folks, for the dead air. I'm just replying to a message. Hold on a second. Responded. Right, that's fine. Perfect. Okay, so just continuing on with that here. Favorite. Oh, hi Tower. How you doing, sir? Thank you very much for watching the show. Sorry I'm late. No, not to worry about that. At least you're here. That's the main thing. That High Tower. Thank you for watching the show. Chief Moody debate with Dank would be sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, of course. I would imagine with that, yeah, like sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Is Dank not an ethnat? No, he's not. He's not an ethnat whatsoever. He calls himself a nationalist, but he's not on our side, like ethno nationalism or anything like that. If anything, he's more of a civic nationalist. He's also like a libertarian type of guy. So I think he's also the member of the Scottish Libertarian Party. So I mean, go figure. So yeah, he's definitely not an ethno-nationalist. He calls himself a nationalist, but he's not like a proper ethno-nationalist or even a proper nationalist for that matter in this case. Dawson, favorite spooky film? I guess that would be like a big follow-up to Get Out, as I thought that was the worst horror film I've reviewed on this channel. I would say the absolute opposite of Get Out in terms of my favorite spooky film of all time, or basically, I would say is my favorite horror film of all time would be The Exorcist. I think that film is an absolute classic, despite the fact it's directed by a Jew, in this case being William Friedkin, but that's beside the point. I think The Exorcist is an absolute classic of a horror film. I know there's other people that will have their personal favorites, whether it be The Shining by Stanley Kubrick or John Carpenter's The Thing, or George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead, which are all great films by any, in regard to that. But my personal favorite horror film of all time would be The Exorcist. It's not my favorite film of all time, but I would say it's my personal favorite horror film of all time, in terms of course, being The Exorcist. So, Gavin Sandwich, I've gone from being a free speech absolutist to being against it now for some groups, mostly because they treat our side that way. Well, I'm also in the same boat as well. I also think the idea of democracy is a complete false god type of idea, where democracy is basically a way for people to it's basically an excuse for people to basically get away with degenerate behavior, that sort of idea. So, especially with the concept of the whole individuality and all of that. So anyway, that's beside the point. Hello, Linda. How you doing? Thank you very much for watching the stream. Appreciate you being here. Killing Angels, Dank's a meme. He's pretty much a meme at this point. I mean, most of the videos he focuses on now is basically making Mad Lad videos, and that's pretty much it. He's also made some Mad Lads or subject matters of Mad Lad videos where I do not agree that those people should be considered Mad Lads, but that's beside the point. Well, actually, there's an example of this. There's one Mad Lad he did about the North Californian shooters, like the bank robbers, I think. I don't think they should be called or even considered to be called Mad Lads, as they were complete violent thugs, and they should never be remembered for any reason for that matter in terms of that. Let me see exactly, Moody, with that. The Exorcist is hilarious. And maybe some people might not like The Exorcist, but it's my favorite horror film of all time. So, let me see here. Chief Moody, what do you think of Aliens? Well, I don't know if it may be the same film, but if you're talking about the sequel to Ridley Scott's Alien, I prefer the first Alien film, to be honest with you. Aliens is okay, but I don't think it's like the best film ever made. I can see why people like it as a sequel to Alien, but in terms of like a film on its own, I think it's a film that kind of ruins the first film in a way, because what made the first Alien film scary to me was it the alien creature and how well, yeah, the alien creature who we find out in the sequel is called is called the xenomorph. But before that, you didn't know much about the alien creature. You didn't know anything about it. You don't know what the name of it, what it's capable of, or anything like that at all. But that's what made it scary regarding to that. And I think with a film like Aliens, which is a very well made film, I'll give it that. In terms of aliens, in terms of exploring more about the alien creature, I think it ruins the fear factor of it in terms of giving it a name like the xenomorph and more explaining where exactly it came from and what it's really about, sort of idea. But again, I know people may think that opinion is very blasphemous, as Aliens is considered to be one of the best sequels ever made. But again, that's just my opinion on that matter with regard to it. So, let's see. Gotta get ready to go to work now. See you all on Thursday. We'll see you on Thursday as well, Gavin. Appreciate you being here and enjoy your chef tonight. Exile Viking Danke is a Sifnat who is a good storyteller, but he's not an Ethnat. But he at least believes in freedom of speech. Well, I do give him that. At least he actually does stand by his principle of believing in freedom of speech. I'll definitely give him that in terms of that. What's the Odyssey link? Is that reference to which channel English Weather? Is that my channel or Laura's channel in terms of her and Sam's stream tonight? Because I'll see if I can post that in just a short second. Aliens 1 and 2 are good. As I said, the first one is the best, but the sequel is all right, in my opinion, but that's just it. He called Aleister Crowley a mad lad, the gay Satanist that sacrificed babies. Well, again, another example of someone that should not be called a mad lad, but anyway. Have you seen the movie Filth with James McAvoy? Best film ever. I have seen that. I think I remember watching that again a few months ago. It was just something that was on there, and I thought, oh, I'll give it another watch. But yeah, I think it's. I did enjoy the film Filth. It's probably a film that you would not get away with now, because I think that was a film that came out just before the whole woke anti-white agenda was going on at that time. Because yeah, it's a film. If you were to play it now, the people involved with it would probably be cancelled, because it's a film that pulls no punches in its subject matter whatsoever, especially the character being a complete, utter scumbag of a guy. But anyway, that's beside the point. But overall, I thought it was a decent film as well in terms of that. BBC News is quite horrific. Indeed it is. My lords and ladies, DDJ, thank you very much for watching the show. Appreciate you being here. Alien is a haunted film, house film, and the second is an action film. Exactly that, Killing Angels. Exactly that. Ripley in USAF camel panties. Fair enough. English sailor. Fair enough. Mutt Tuck, hello, how you doing? Xenomorph is just a pretentious way of saying alien. It's not a name as such. Fair enough. Right. That's a good point. The Duke of Bedford. Good evening, DDJ. That's fine with me. First one is so atmospheric. Indeed it is, English Rose. Indeed it is. For my channel, right, hold on 1 second, English Weather. I'll see if I can post that in the chat here. Hold on 1 sec. This is just for English Weather for my Odyssey channel. 1 sec. And hopefully it might come up in a short moment here. And while I'm at it, I'll see if I can also post the links for, let me see, for Laura and Sam's stream for at 7 p.m. on the set. So there we go, English Weather. There's the link for my Odyssey channel if you want to follow it there, if you want to. And in the meantime, I'll get the link for Sam and Laura's Tea Time with Sam and Laura's stream link. Let me just get that in a second. preferred platform. So Laura's D Live. Copy the link. Oh no, not D Live. Sorry, Laura's Odyssey. I'll post that first. So there's Laura's Odyssey channel link. It's there. Also see if I can copy and paste Laura's D Live. So if you're having any issues with watching the stream on Odyssey, then there's the link for Laura's D Live channel as well. And finally, I'll get this here. If you want to ask Sam or both Sam and Laura or either one of them a question, whether it be paid or unpaid, then here's the link for Laura's Entropy link as well. So there we go. Perfect. So you might as well just click the links at the moment, because as what I'm going to do now is put the show or have the show come to an end, as it's 3 minutes till 7. I'll see if I can get myself an outro song for tonight and then end the stream there. I'll see if I can play that song actually. Hold on a sec. It's a song I've been listening to actually ever since this weekend when I was out with the guys at PA. So really can't wait for that. Hopefully it loads. So I don't know if it's to do with the connection. Hold on. Pause that real quick. Yeah, that should be fine. Perfect. Now, it is the drum cover version of the song, but which is my personal favorite of this version, but that's just me, of course. So, with that being said and done, head on over to Sam and Laura's Tea Time with Sam and Laura stream at 7 p.m. Till then, thank you all so much for watching the show. Hopefully, you've enjoyed the first ever Halloween special, which I know it wasn't really much, but hopefully next year I'll have another Halloween special next year and maybe make it like bigger in scope next time. So, but we'll definitely see with there, of course. In the meantime, again, thank you all so much for watching. This is Chief Moody. You have been watching the Mood of the Nation podcast, and I shall see you on Thursday at 6 p.m. And then we'll see from there, of course. So again, thank you all very much for watching. This is Chief Moody signing out. You've been watching Mood of the Nation, and I'll see you on Thursday. Thank you. Take care. Stay safe, and have a good night. Thank you.